Thank you for joining us. We are on our way to Win, proudly brought to you by our proud sponsors at Betway. We are looking ahead to Greyville Racing. Yes, it is carded on your computer forms as a meeting due on the 28th of March 2025. That was to be part of a doubleheader with racing at Fairview earlier on in the day, but unfortunately the weather has intervened once again in KZN. So the Scottsville meeting has been the most affected, due on Sunday. That has been moved forward to Monday, and so today's Greyville meeting has been moved to Sunday. But every cloud has a silver lining. Now we have racing on Monday, so Greyville is on Sunday. And without further ado, let us talk to Len before I trip myself up and get his thoughts on our Greyville meeting, which is on the turf. 9 races in total, so it'll be straight on to race 2. First of all, a warm welcome to Len, and thank you so much for joining us. And I should say I'm very surprised to see you on the show after your exploits last week with Winter Games and Gladiatorian. I thought that exactly would see you hand in your resignation and a trip to one of the exotic islands, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Cecil. Thank you for that. From a rather wet KZN, we'll hope for the best, that the weather doesn't continue and we do get racing on Sunday and Monday.
All right, so we've got a betting guide, and the loose favorite is the 7 Purple Powerhouse at 4-1. The 6 And Now I Got You is your second favorite, likely to be your second favorite. And then you've got the 10 Glamours, also in the region of around 5-1, 11-2, 8-1, and a better bar those. All right, so it is 1,200 meters, the trip. Purple Powerhouse, obviously number 7 on the card, drawn 7, Serena Moodley. It will be his second ride for an informed Allison Wright stable. How do we survive the bipod?
Cecil, it's a fairly open start to the bipod, but I'm going to go with the consistent Purple Powerhouse. He's always thereabouts. And number 6, Now I Got You, he seems to be just about ready to have his next win. And hopefully they will get us through the first leg of the bipod.
All right, so 7 and 6 in that order should see us through that first leg of the bipod. And please take note, it is the second of 9 races on the card. Let's move on to the third race in a short while. All right, for race number 3, the first leg of the PA over the 1,200 meters. It is a middle stakes. We are looking at the start of the PA, and the likely favorite and the consistent number 2, Bevy's Delight, I'm sure will be vying for favoritism with Ketiwe's Destiny. That is Mike and Matthew de Kock and Craig Zaki. And then I'm going to stop at the 4 Convocation. I'm sure that will be vying for favoritism. What Gareth Van Zyl has done with Convocation can only be said to be miraculous. The last 2 runs have been very, very consistent indeed. Has been pumped up those 2 points back to a 9-2 Len.
Cecil, it's a competitive field, but I feel that if Ketiwe's Destiny doesn't just need the run, she could prove hard to beat because she's unbeaten over this distance. I'm going to back her up in the bipod and PA with Bevy's Delight. Unfortunately, she let us down last time. I thought she would win. She comes back to the 12, and I think she'll run a good race. And as well as number 1, Get in the Queue. She's also got a lot of pace, and I think she'll be right there. So for the 3 of them should get us through the bipod and PA. But there are other runners, as you've mentioned, Convocation. There's Captain's Christie. But, like we say, we can't put everything in.
We can't put everything in, but as you see, they're on the selection panel for race numbers 3 to 9, the first leg and the last leg of the PA. 1, 2, and 5 will survive in that first leg, and then we've got a banker in leg number 2. That will be the 3, and that is Give Me Everything. That is race 3, the third of 9. Race number 4, first leg of the pick six. Please take note, the off time to race number 4 will be 13:50 on Sunday. It's over the 1600 meters, and the banker in that second leg of the PA happens to be the favorite in leg 1 of the pick six, and that's Dean Canamere's Give Me Everything in the colors of the breeders. Phosfontaine Stud, stable jockey Craig Zaki gets the ride, and likely to be very short in comparison to the rest of the field. That will be at 15, 18 to 10, the one Sovereign Grant, and the 6 Ice Rain will be the best of the rest. But let's get to Len. He did banker in the PA. That is number 3, Give Me Everything, has a decent draw of 3. Last time out had a decent draw as well. Pole position, a draw 1 out of 7. Right, Give Me Everything. Give us more about this Dean Canamere charge. Give me the green light, Len.
Yes, Cecil, the Cape Visitor, Give Me Everything. She's in great form at the moment, having scored a hat-trick, winning her last 3 races, and is clearly on the up. She's definitely the one to beat. She makes her KZN debut at Greyville, and sometimes the Cape horses find it a bit strange, the right-hand turn. So I've bankered her, but in the biopod, I've covered her with Ice Rain, who's also in good form at the moment, having won both her KZN starts. And then also the lightly weighted Forward Motion. I think she could be a bit of a trick horse with that lightweight if she gets away.
Okay, so it is the Give Me Everything, number 3, number 4, Forward Motion, in form Paul Lafferty, and the apprentice Botas with his 4 kg claim. And as you heard, Ice Rain is also certainly in the conversation, going for 3 wins on the bounce. The penultimate win was at Greyville over the 1600 meters, so course and distance a win there. It is an off time of 10 minutes to 2 to that first leg of the Pick 6 race 4. Well, we had a Dean Canamere favorite in race number 4, and we'd like to have a Dean Canamere favorite in a race number 5. It is no stranger to the province. For Teflon Man, the only change is that recently gelded. This will be a second run after gelding Craig Zaki aboard once again. Locally based Shyfolia in the colours of the sponsors. The name of Greyville Racecourse, that is of course Hollywood Racing, is at 2 to 1 or thereabouts. And then it will be bigger odds. There will be value to be had if you shop around. So Dean has certainly relocated his string for the future season. Rounded off the Western Cape season in a good form, and I think he's set to continue. We've just seen Give Me Everything in race number 4, looks upwardly mobile. Teflon Man started off with a bang, and then, of course, I think that gelding was very much in the offing and much needed then.
Yes, 100%, Cecil. Look, it looks to be a match in between the two of them, Teflon Man and number 1, Shyfolia. Shyfolia, ran a cracker last time, only getting beaten just over a length by William Robertson. So she's not going to be a pushover. If you asked me which is my first choice, I would side with the gelding Teflon Man though. So, but I would put both of them in.
By the time race number 5 runs the course, we will know whether that form line is as strong as it should be, and that is a William Robertson form line, because of course in the computer form sprint on Saturday at Turventine, William Robertson is a short price to favourite, and rightly so. So it is Teflon Man from Shyfolia, as the market probably will have it, 6 from 1 in that first leg of the first jackpot for Len. Thank you, Len. We're looking forward to the second jackpot starting race 6. Well, we get on to race number 6. This is a grade 3 event over the 1400 meters. And here we have another very, very, very well-supported Canamere runner. Will be in the colours of Kaya Stables, looking for win number 3 from just the 9 outings. It's a number 1, a Give Me is a Countess. Likely to go off in the red Craig Zaki. Well, what an evening or afternoon he would have had at Greyville if everything goes according to plan. Race 6, by the way, will be off at 3 o'clock. Now, in the Umuzumkulu, we have a field of 8 that is carded. What do you reckon here? The favourite, Give Me's Countess, good enough to bank her, Len?
Cecil, it looks that way. She's finally cracked a decent draw. and she'll be hard to oppose in the Umzimkulu Stakes. So I think she's a worthy banker in the exotics. Although in view of the recent rains, the rain we're having at the moment, I decided to cover her in the first jackpot with the Highveld Visitor, Green Sapphire, and as well as the Mark Miller trained Warrior Royal, who seems to be on the up. So I'm just in case the soft conditions play a bit of havoc.
Yes, indeed. So 1, 2, and 7, and I think I was going to say Green Sapphire. Certainly hasn't done too much wrong here on the high felt, and certainly would, if you were looking for a backup to the odds-on favorite, would be an inclusion. Thank you so much, Len. That is in the first jackpot, but in the second jackpot, Len has decided to take a chance and bank at number 1. Kimmy's counters off at 3 o'clock. That is the carded off time for Sunday. You know that the season is certainly nigh in the KZN region, our coastal season, which is much anticipated this year. Traditionally, the Bailey Turk is a clarion call to all those who love their racing, that get those wallets ready. It is going to be great racing you're treated to. Climaxing, of course, with the Gold Cup as the last big race day. Let's get back to the Bailey Turk, another grade 3. And looking at the likely markets, race number 7, you're looking at Cat's Pajamas. Well, Cat's Pajamas carried on as a 3-year-old from that 2-year-old form line is at around 12 to 10, 15 to 4 is Oxalis and Kimrick, also at around 15 to 4, 5 to 1 and bet about those. Please be reminded, this is merely a betting guide to racing on Sunday. Again, a reminder, 15:35 is the off time to the Bailey Turk, a field of 8. This race with bigger fields has sometimes produced results, but I think the market could be on the mark there, Mr. Mayhew.
Yes, Cecil, Cat's Pajamas hasn't done anything wrong, and he's very useful, and he certainly looks the one to beat. We have a couple of visiting horses, and I'm very hesitant to ignore them, when they come raiding down here. So I've covered him. In the event that he may just need the run, I've covered him in the exotics to be on the safe side.
All right, so the 7 Cat's Pajamas, Len making no secret, and of course form speaks for itself. Only bad run was when travelling up here to the Highveld, and that was at Turfentine on a Summer Cup day. But otherwise, form very solid indeed. That will be the Bailey Turk grade 3, and that is the start of the last pick 3. All right, we're done with our 2 graded features. We're now on to a Class 4, which will be our penultimate event. And again, be reminded, it is 9 races on the card. So at 16:10, with runners facing up for race 8, it will be a chance to get involved in the last double of the afternoon. 2 Gs. That is the 3 in those very informed source of Mr. Gary Player. He's in partnership with Mr. G.M. Holloway on a 2-time winner from 4 outings. So 50% win strike rate. And the second of those wins came at Scottsville on the 16th of Feb this year. Craig Zaki was aboard then. Smanger gets the ride, and that is likely to be your favorite. To market rivals, where you've got the likes of the 9 Siberian Winter, the 13 Colorado Creek would be just 2 of the likely rivals. Scratchings, by the way, before we hand over to Len, the 1 Our Lady Fate, and the 4 Lizwile Ilali, the Villagers Herd. Mace Roberts' runner is 1 of 2 scratchings. Mr. Mayhew, what are we doing in race number 8 at 2 Gs? Well, there was a time when Mr. Player, anything in Mr. Player's source you had to just to throw in the last 18 months. It has been the story, and of course, holding thumbs. Whenever you think is now being caught up with by the handicapper, it still continues. 2 Gs, going about it the right way, lightly raced, 4 runs so far.
Yes, Cecil, she looks to be a very decent filly in the making, having won 2 of her 4 starts. She's drops back in trip from the 14 to the 12, but I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem because she's got early pace, so that shouldn't be a problem for her. Clearly the one to beat, but I have included Siberian Winter and the 13 Colorado Creek in the jackpot and pick six.
Okay, so that will be a 3, 9, and a 13, and the pick six. And as far as the exact box suggested by Len, as depicted on screen, 3, 9, and 13 will be the suggested numbers, and that's an outlay of 60 Rand. Thanks so much, Len. That is our penultimate off at 10 past 4. We're previewing Greyville on a Sunday. All right, this is where we say it is the get out of it stakes the time. A bright future class 4 over the 1200 meters will round off our racing at Greyville, and take note of the new off time. That is a 4:45 Sunday afternoon, distance 1200 meters, and this is an open looking affair. The likes of the 13 Emerald, beg your pardon, Mama's Baby are likely to be contending for that favoritism after some decent former win, penultimate run on the poly, and again another poly win, second rather, the last time out behind a drive-by. That is Mama's Baby. And then you're looking at the likes of the one that is also up there, that is Lady Aterix, the 11, that is Star, also coming in with some form. But it is Len to give us his thoughts, and I believe Len is going to suggest a swinger box for us, and I think it would be worth following, because 9-2, 5-1 should be about the price of the favorite.
Yes, Cecil, I don't know about the get out of it stakes, because to me it's a very trappy race. So, I mean, in the PA, I've gone 4 horses, numbers 1, 2, 10, and 13. And I've elected to put the field in the pick six and the jackpot 2. It really is a race that you could get some funny result. So hopefully we can at least get through the if we're surviving, we can get through the PA in that race.
We certainly hope so. 1, 2, 10, and 13. And Len, I must say, it's been a great pleasure. Obviously, lots of changes coming overnight due to the elements intervening. But like the true soldier you are, you were ready for it. And thank you very much. We thank you for that. And hopefully we will have some joy come the end of racing. Thank you, Len.